What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. We are back. It's chest day. So, yeah, there has been a little bit of a hiatus, I guess. This chest day, we are in December, and the last video I did was a couple of months ago now. So, I do apologize, and I will pick up the speed of content moving forward. To be totally honest, you didn't miss much, probably more of my random rambles and thoughts, but kind of the same style of training that you've seen me post up from this off season. Same split, same style of training, instinctive, similar volume. Obviously, I will adjust as I go by how I feel in terms of volume, load, intensity, techniques, all that kind of stuff that you've picked up on, hopefully, that I've shown. So yeah, not much has changed. I progressed my food to the point where it was pretty much maxed out. So we're in the second week of December now, and my food maxed out around about early September, where it got to the point where I'm kind of having like an off-plan meal most nights, on top of anywhere from 800 to 1,000 grams of carbs a day. Protein it's pretty much fixed all the time at like 400, and fats crept up as well, up to about 120 to 150. So depending on what my off-plan meal is and what my training session was like, any given day could be between 6 to 7,500 calories. So it didn't really go up past that. I couldn't physically anymore, but it was enough. And to be honest, my appetite died around that time. But knowing my body and my past off seasons, that's when I start to grow new muscle. So from September all the way up to now, so we're all September, all of October, all of October. So 3 months it's kind of been a push at that level of food and training, which is where I will probably gain a couple of pounds of new muscle, hopefully more. Body weight, to be honest, topped out at 285. That was my highest so far. But you have to bear in mind that for up to 3 months post-show, there is a post-show rebound weight, which kind of it makes it not so accurate when you jump on the scales. You know, when you're 40 pounds up post-show and you're still lean, that's, you know, there's a lot of water there inside and around the muscle. So once that kind of settled off and I started to feel normal, not post-show, that's when I knew my weight was going to be kind of like a real steady solid weight, and that was around about 280, 275 to 280. And I mean real weight. Like, I don't mean insulin weight, I don't mean growth weight. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. That's what I've been holding now for the last 3 months. So obviously, on a side note, this chest session is pretty self-explanatory. I will kind of dip into the session, dip in and out, and I'll update you on my off season. So I started off with a fly movement, as you can see, and I just sometimes I go in and I don't want to get into a heavy press, which isn't very often on chest day. Chest day is one of those where I feel like I can go in and start lifting. But yeah, I did a fly first, a lower pec fly, and then into a heavy press. And I went into an incline today instead of a flat. So I kind of rotate those around a bit. But yeah, so I hit 285 and then kind of just stayed there for a little while, let things marinate, I like to say. And I just, at that point, it's like, right, am I going to get enough food in today? Am I going to get enough sleep? It becomes a daily struggle. And that's for me where bodybuilding becomes extreme and very difficult. Like, I will take prep hunger most of the time over that feeling of waking up and knowing how much food you have to eat for the next however many hours, and then you have to do it again, day after day, week after week, month after month, for a couple of pounds of muscle. That's real bodybuilding. That's real off-season. There's not often where you can just blow up 50, 60 pounds and expect to gain 20 pounds of stage weight. That's, extremely early on in a career, or extremely ridiculously good genetics. So yeah, food was pretty steady. I was kind of getting it in. I didn't want to eat. I got to the point where my body goes from being, where's all the food, to I dream of missing a meal. Like, a cheat meal for me would be, a pleasurable meal for me would be an empty plate at this point. But anyway, so I kind of just mix up my meals. I don't have a set diet. I kind of eat what I feel like. I've got my basic set meals that I go to if I don't want to think about what I want to eat next. But if I want to mix it up, I do it. I'll have different types of food. Instead of your chicken and rice, I might have a cottage pie or a lasagna with some extra meat on the side. If I don't want steak and pasta, I might go and get a Kentucky Fried Chicken or something. I like to mix it up, but generally I'll hit those calories and that amount of protein and carbs and fats most days. And on Sundays I kind of relax. If I don't want to eat, I don't force it as much. That's the day where I lay off the gym, and I also lay off force feeding as much. I eat enough so I don't drop weight. But if I'm full, and I don't want to eat as much on my next meal, I might just have a protein and veg meal or a shake, and then just do a bigger meal the next one. So yeah, going for the 4 plates here. Obviously I'll get to this, but I've had a week off the gym at the end of November, so a couple of weeks ago. I also got sick with this chest thing that's going around. So I took the opportunity to lay off. And I actually, a couple of weeks before that, mid-November, I kind of stopped forcing the food because I want to be in a good position to start prep come mid to late January. And I will, as the way I like to do it is, if I'm pushing in off season and I know that prep's around the corner, I don't want to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, because at the point where I got to 285, if I was to continue, there would be a point where I'm burning out, which I was. My joints were hurting, my sleep was suffering. Obviously my appetite, my digestion started to really slow to the point where everything bloated me. So at that point, it's not a very good place to start prep. So I like to, same with my guys, I like to back off the food intake, kind of back off the training load and volume a little bit, letting your body recover and breathe, backing off the supplements, everything kind of goes to just above maintenance level type. So it's not enough to, so instead of 7,500 calories, I'd be going to just below 6, and I'm trying to maintain that, which is still so much food, and I still have no appetite. But that initially let me lose about 10 pounds of water initially. So obviously you pull some supplements out, pull the food down, take some more rest days, try and sleep a little bit more. Your body lets go of some volume and fluid and a little bit of body fat. So when I got to about 275, that's when I felt comfortable, which is crazy because last time I got to 275, which was my previous high in 2017, it felt disgusting. Like I didn't want to be there at all. I think I spent a couple of weeks there and then went back down to like 265. So I'm hoping this means progress, because I've been able to hold 275 even when I was off the gym and I couldn't eat because I was sick. I dropped down to about 265, 268, but that went straight back up when I started eating and training without really forcing it. So right now I know for me 275 to 270 is a solid weight that I don't just yo-yo around depending on how my day is. Like I can hold that on less food, I can hold that easily whether I train or don't train. So it's good weight for me. And training, I've got to the point where I'm not going to go for big lifts, and I'm not going to go ridiculously intense. Intensity's still high, but my goal right now across December is to make sure I go into January with fresh joints, fresh digestive tract, and fresh organs, and a fresh mindset, because motivation starts to die when you're peaking in the off season. Everything becomes hard work, and you start wondering why you're doing it, because putting your socks on is making you out of breath, and you just start questioning stuff. I don't think I'm getting too old to get that swole in the off season, but anyway, 285 for me is a win. Obviously, any more would have been nice. What will happen is across December, I'll take more rest days if I need to. I'll back off in the gym, but if I go in and I'm feeling great, I'll have a nice hard session. If I want to eat more food, I'll have more food, but I'm not going to force it. So right now I'm sitting at around 275, and I'm happy to stay here. For reference, when I started the Spain prep back in spring this year, I was topping out at between 260 and 265 pounds, maybe even below, in roughly the same or maybe even worse conditions. So does that mean 5 to 10 pounds more muscle on stage? Probably not, but it will mean a denser, heavier look, even if it's not that much heavier on the scales. I'm hoping for 3 to 5 pounds of muscle. That would be 3 to 5 pounds of muscle with a solid off season, which I haven't had for 6 years. I'm hoping would let me fill in the gaps that I saw in my own physique. Criticism wise, from the judges, the only criticism was my rear double bicep. That lacked a little bit of width and density, which I've been working on. So I'm hoping that just this 5-6 months of an off season is gonna let me catch up to what I need to be within striking distance of a win. So yeah, that's basically what I do with myself and my guys. We kind of I peak in an off season, then I stop forcing, and I allow myself or my guys to get healthy for a few weeks before prep. Now, the length of prep, when it comes to cutting body fat, I don't really like to cut too much longer than 12 to 14 weeks, unless myself or my client is too fat. But if we're in decent shape, 12 to 14 weeks, I think mentally and physically is just about enough. But from 20 weeks out, I will start to tighten things up, and I'll start to ramp things up. So clean food would go up, junk food will come down. So you might see me start at mid-January, and I might be 20 weeks out, 18 weeks out, whatever. But I'll spend 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks even, maybe filling out if my body wants to go that direction. So I might start prep in January at 275, but I might start the cut at 280. So go up and then come down. So I'm coming down from a nice high food intake. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Healthy and fresh. Not tired. The opposite to aches and pains. The opposite to fatigued. I want sleep to be perfect. Right now, my sleep a few weeks ago when I was above 280 I was waking up way before my alarm. I was waking up multiple times in the night because I just couldn't sleep deeply. I couldn't get a comfortable position. And right now, I just want to snooze my alarm. Like, I can go in a deep sleep straight away. Often I don't hear my baby crying. So I know that my body's going into a nice position to push prep. And to top it off, icing on the cake is I'm at an all-time high body weight. So I'm hoping this all means a very good prep and a very good look. It was a lot of food for a while. For the 3 months, I was forcing a lot of volume and a lot of calorie-dense meals. So has that affected my midsection? I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping not. Obviously, the last big off-season I did was 7 years ago. Younger, fresher body. It could have probably taken a bit more beating than it can now. but we'll see. But yeah, so just wanted to update you guys on how I finish an off season. So it's kind of finished, but it's not. It's like a bit of a break. If I wasn't competing until the end of next year, for example, I would still be doing this. I would still be backing off and getting healthy. But the difference would be in January, instead of prepping, I might be going into another push to get myself up over 280, 285, maybe even close to 290. And then spring, I would back off again and then do this whole pre-prep, whatever you want to call it. So, but because I'm starting prep soon, shows. So, after speaking to a few people I trust, including Jordan, including Leanne, including Samson, and Mel, his wife, lovely wife Mel, who I got the chance to see and do some seminars with, I think I might try and do a couple of USA shows to start my season. Not 100% decided, but I'm looking at maybe doing Pittsburgh, maybe New York. Now, these shows are obviously big shows, and I think my goal would be to just be amongst or close to the top first call out. If I can just get out in front of those judges, show them that I'm willing to throw my hat in the ring with the big boys, and that I'm not scared to just try and go up against some Olympia level athletes. So if I do that and I do well and I look the way I know I can look, that will set me off, set me nicely for a good run of Europeans in June, July. I think they are still, so I'll have to double check the calendar. But that's my plan. Hopefully, start the season, competitive season, with a bang, and then carry on and try and do as many shows as I can to get to Olympia. The limiting factor for me with multiple shows is my body. Now, obviously, with everyone as well. When you've peaked once or twice or 3 times, you know, there's a point where you start to digress. And that's the point where I'll probably stop my season. But I'm hoping I can mentally and physically do as many shows as I can. But we'll see. As with anything I do, it's week by week, day by day. I listen to my body, see what it's happy doing, see what it's happy not doing, see where the compromise is, and then we just keep pushing. So yeah. So December, time to relax a little bit, and hope you guys will do the same. Life is short. If you're not prepping for the Mr. Olympia or the Arnold Classic, then relax, have some food, have some chocolate, have some drinks, whatever you want to do. Just remember, there's life outside of bodybuilding, and a relaxed mind will usually lead to a more relaxed and happy body, which will lead to more results from the training and the eating. So I will keep the videos coming a little bit more regularly now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you took some information away to think about for yourselves, and obviously the session is self-explanatory. It's my usual chest session with some carbs at the end. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.